Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On this Friday, uh, first of all, before I start making this video, before I really get into it, ladies and gentlemen, let me just ask you. Let me just actually ask you to keep. Will you keep an open mind, regardless of what you believe? Please do keep an open mind on what I'm about to cover here. Because if you haven't heard this, then it's going to be too much for your mind. You understand? Okay? So, in other words, once we are used to something in life, then it's kind of hard to hold on to something new. See, but what I talk about here, I prove. Because what I talk about here, what I cover here is the Holy Bible, which is the most popular book in the world, but yet it is the least understood. And that is by design, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That is by design, because you got to understand, we are living not just in the last days of this human, in the last days of this human, last generation actually, as we know it. Okay? First of all, you got to understand that we were created. We are not just some creatures that came out of nothingness, that came out of an explosion called evolution. That's a satanic idea, ladies and gentlemen. That idea is what shapes our behavior and justify in our minds what we have become. Okay? When in reality, we human beings have gone lower than animals. That's how we're behaving, because we have been worked. In fact, I might title this video, The Human Experiment. Okay? So let me read you what I'm going to read you here. Then we're going to hit the books, and hopefully we'll be done as soon as possible. Okay? Here we go. So the human creation became an experiment, not when God created the human creation. No, ladies and gentlemen. See, because you got to understand, when God created us, it was to last, to last forever. To be part of his family, to multiply. In fact, that was his first order back on Genesis, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 28. Read it for yourself. Okay? So the human creation became an experiment at the moment it fell from the Creator's grace through sin. And what is sin? Just look up what was brought. First of all, when you say what is sin, you got to understand what brought about sin. And what brought about sin was disobedience. That's what brought about sin, and sin is death. The wages of sin is death. So, here we go. From Adam and Eve, our first parents, to their son Cain, to Noah's time, when God decided to destroy the world with a worldwide flood. From the Tower of Babel to Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So in other words, from the Tower of Babel, Nimrod's time, okay? Nimrod, that wanted to construct a tower that would reach up to the sky. What a silly rabbit. See, and that's the devil experimenting with humanity. See, the devil wasn't content with just making humanity sin and disobey its creator and going against its very essence. No, 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 no. He didn't stop there. He wants to bring it to the next level. In fact, it is compared, ladies and gentlemen, because it is part of the same spirit of death, which humanity has always worshipped. It is compared to abortion. Abortion is just a nice word for the assassination, the torturing, and death of and the interruption of life itself. It is abortion is ladies and gentlemen, is an assault, is an insult to our very existence as human beings created in the image of our Creator, created in the image of God, whose real name is I Am. Here we go. So from the Tower of Babel to Sodom and Gomorrah, from Sodom and Gomorrah to this last generations as we know it, man has become an experiment for the devil's whim, being the first scientist that taught men the use of knives, swords, shields, medicine and magic, eyeshadows, and other physical ornamentations. I'm just gonna talk to you about some of this fallen angels' name and their functions. Okay? To show you that each angel has a job. Here we go. Azazel. He taught men, like I just said, knives, how to make knives and swords, how to use them. The medicinal magic, eyeshadow, what ladies use, and other physical ornamentation. Fallen angel number 2, Armoniel. Armoriel. Armoniel. He would just make people understand the power of enchantment. Okay? You know what enchantments are? It has to do with magic. It has to do with witchery, witchcraft, you name it. Number 3, Gadriel. Fallen angel number 3. He taught the use of cosmetics, the use of weapons and killing blows. This angel is lethal, ladies and gentlemen. He actually taught humanity to what? To kill. Number 4, Barakiel or Barakiel. This angel, fallen angel number 4, Barakiel, taught mankind astrology, which, as we know, if you know history, too bad so many of us don't. If you know history, astrology was really worked on and pushed on the Greek Empire, which was the empire that gave us drugs, the use of drugs. Now, these are the 4 names of fallen angels. Out of 100 angels' names. Because remember, 200 angels, 200 fallen angels got together on Mount Hermon. And they decided to what? To procreate life, seeing that man's daughter were beautiful. And they had sex with them. not as a spirit, of course, because you see, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a secret. There are rules. An angel cannot come to you as a spirit. He's got to come to you as a man. So when the fallen angel has sex with the daughters of men, as it is written in Matthew 6, okay? I'm sorry, on Genesis chapter 6, where he talks about the sons of God. And in the book of Enoch, ladies and gentlemen, angels are not supposed to come to you in the spirit, except if they want to mess with your mind. And they know they got you. It's like a dog, when he knows that you scare him, he will come and tear you apart. You understand? So here we go. And this experimented with humans at all levels. Okay, you name it. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, has always been made perpetually to this until this last days of human existence upon this earth. And as we know it, and medicine live it, in other words, ladies and gentlemen, look, and this experimental with humans at all levels, emotional, mentally, spiritually, has always been made perpetually to this last days of human existence upon this earth, and as we know it. And medicine, the medicine community, the scientific community, living up to this oath, have to take the Hippocratic oath, swearing to the names of these very fallen angels. Of course, under different names of pagan gods. Ladies and gentlemen, please, and I will send it to you. I prove all things. And the devil knows he has been messing with the human mind ever since he came to own it. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the devil owns humanity. Why? Because we have all sinned. No one is perfect. If any human being is perfect, then he shouldn't be on this earth. He will be with God. You understand? So no human being is perfect. There was only one. And even he himself didn't want to be considered as perfect. He was our Redeemer. Okay? Yahushua, whom the world known as Christ. So the devil knows that he has been messing with human mind. I mean, you name it. You know, they have come, they have disguised themselves in all kinds of ways. And through our human empires and through our human civilizations. As extraterrestrial God. As humanoids. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, what a freaking joke. What a freaking show. So he actually owns humanity as the experimental with creation that he has obviously become. Obedient to all kinds of evil, like the practice of abortion, the practice of homosexuality, and transgender, because that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to transform humanity, and he's done a good job at it. And humanity is listening to him. Oh, yes. Okay. The practice of homosexuality, legalization of drugs. And he uses lots of distractions. Okay? I mean, the industry of distraction is what? Hollywood. That's why Hollywood has to pay homage to the devil. That's why it requires sacrifices, human sacrifices, human blood, ladies and gentlemen, in order for you to remain on top. Here we go. And he uses lots of distractions and nice words. And humanity, because he's living under these evil trends, he has gone along with this double layer lies. Like what? Like racism. Ladies and gentlemen, racism, once again, let me say it again. Racism does not exist. That's just a distraction word. Racism, I tell you what exists. It's evil, good versus evil. You want to call it racism? It's sad. You are, when you label something, you are taking your total understanding of it. That's why it's a distraction word. Racism does not exist. Climate change. If you take a glance through our human history, and again, I put out the challenge. Nobody has taken me up on this challenge. I will wire $500 to a person that can send me a video and explain it. How? Of any leaders through our history that has really cared about its own people. Now, let me make an exception. I'm not talking about God's chosen kings, okay? Because that's a given. I'm not talking, for instance, about King David and his son, King Solomon, and even they failed our Creator by showing the disgusting human side at the end, the human's faults. Anyway, here we go. So climate change. What a lie. You understand? Climate change is a word where they want you to believe, they want to brainwash you into believing that they care and they want the best for humanity. If that was the case, why are they legalizing drugs, killing babies straight out of the womb? And then they don't want to stop just killing baby inside, like with the pills the day after, tomorrow, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, they want to kill babies even before a lady is about to give birth, and even after giving birth. You understand? That's how ridiculous, and that this is how evil and how coward the devil is. And humanity has fell for it. Let's keep going. Climate change, again, a lie. It's the hypnotizing words that play, word game that play with your mind. You know who's done that through our history? Well, I just gave you a hint, because that's where the whole concept came out of. Your belief in religions. You believing in religion is the same thing. Okay? Number 3, Black Lives Matter. What a freaking joke. And people are so naive that they actually fell for this. You actually fell for this. You have been bamboozled. You have been played with. You have been exploited at an emotional level, of course, and at a mental level. See, once they get you emotionally, they got your mind as well. They got you emotionally, your mind, they got you spiritually as well. In fact, the founders of Black Lives Matter, they themselves tell you they are trained Marxists. See how lost God's people are? You see how many, why this organization are created? Because the devil wants to kill as many as God's people as possible. And you are following them. You're going along with the crowd. You're going with the flow, right? Okay. And you know who financed this organization, right? George Soros, the United States, government, believe it or not. See, the United States, which is the second beast of the Bible, has many ways of doing things without you even knowing or caring about. Number 4, the civil rights movement back in the 60s. Okay? I mean, you got Martin Luther King Jr., a Freemason brother. He was Mason. See, you got to understand that Masons control the United States completely. They control the media, they control the politics, they control the money that you use to buy your food. They control everything. They control Hollywood. In fact, all of the presidents of the United States have been Masons, Freemasons, okay? Here we go. So Martin Luther King was used when they noticed that this dude was going, wait a minute, he's getting too much power. Now, after they used him, they killed him. Using what? One of its own. Because black people have always killed each other. See? When black people kill each other, all of a sudden black lives don't matter, right? But when it's killed by a police officer, and by the way, once again, the police officer are a Freemasonic, Freemasonic organization. Where you think the term blue bloods came from? In fact, there's a TV show on that. Ladies and gentlemen, please wake up and smell the coffee. I almost became a police officer in New York after coming out of the United States Marine Corps. That was back in the 1980s. Late 1980s, in the middle of the 1980s, 1985, 1987, 1985, 1987. The Black Panther movement, the Black Panther Party. Ladies and gentlemen, the Black Panther Party, which, by the way, that's where the idea of gangs like the Bloods and the Crips came out of. The Black Panther Party was infiltrated by the CIA and completely destroyed. Because, ladies and gentlemen, God's people have always betrayed one another. You want another good example as to how this is true? Okay, let me give you a good example so that you can understand it much clearer. Back in the year 1522, when Hernan Cortez went to Mexico with only 600 men, and he invaded Mexico. Check this out, Veracruz. Ladies and gentlemen, almost instantly, 50,000 Indians came on his side. Now you may say, Ruben, why? Why would they do that? Okay, because they thought, according to, again, remember, we are controlled by lies. This whole world is a lie. It's full of lies. You walk upon lies. You breathe lies. You eat lies. Lies upon lies upon lies. You hear lies everywhere. Politicians lie. The better liar they are, the more power they get. Because by lying, you are paying homage to the chief, which is the devil, Satan. More on that a little bit later on. But let me just tell you. Okay? Let me just tell you. According to, through deceit and deception, people used to believe that the God that the Mayans used to worship was going to come 100 years. That's why he told the Mayans, according to, right? And that was in their legends. So when they saw this young man come, they thought it was the return of the sun god, Kukulkan. 50,000 of them went on his side. And then he just started even gaining more people until he felt that he was ready. And he destroyed, using his own people, he destroyed what? You understand how it works? The devil used God's own people to destroy each other. And that's how we've been ever since. If you look at Mexico, the drug cartels over there, what are they doing? Are they fighting for a better Mexico? No, they're killing each other. And they're parading, they're hanging people in bridges and cutting people's heads. You understand? Wake up, people. This is not a joke. This is serious. Okay? The same thing in the continent of Africa. The same thing in Chicago. Black on black crimes never stops. Hispanic on Hispanic crime never stops. Native Americans crime upon Native American crimes never stops. Because we are lost. We are lost sheep, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why most of us, I'm not saying all of them, all of us, are drug addicts, thieves, robbers, professional killers, or as they say in Spanish, what? They call it what? Sicarios? Really? Ladies and gentlemen, please. So once again, the Black Panther Party movement was completely destroyed, okay? Because the white man wasn't gonna let you do this. You understand? And besides, without God on your side, you wasn't gonna go anywhere, brothers. Check this out. After all, this falsehood and masquerade, okay? After all this falsehood and masquerade, the devil's end game is to destroy God's chosen people. And he has brainwashed almost all of our people to forget about what their sufferings even mean. And it's right there on Deuteronomy chapter 28. It talks about the curses. We don't want to go there, huh? Okay. And to now feel sorry for what the Ukrainian people are going through. Give me a freaking break. Okay? Which is a manufactured war between Edomites' brothers to collapse the world's economic system to bring about their last hurrah of this experiment to usher in the Antichrist system. The mark of the beast, ladies and gentlemen, have been talked about for many, many years. But guess what? It's about to tell you, I'm here, and you will not be able to buy or sell. Ladies and gentlemen, you want another proof amongst countless that the United States will fall very soon, like I've been telling you. Remember the leader that we have? Remember what I just told you? That without God, no nation can survive. No relationship can survive without God. So this is why you see the destruction of family, because God has been taken out of the family. God has been taken out of the schools, prayers. So there are your consequences. let me just tell you, let me read to you a little bit of something. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their creator, God. You know what Joe Biden said? You know, remember, you know the phrase. He said, we hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by, you know, the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, okay? You think this is a joke? You are seeing it, you are witnessing it with your own eyes. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, this word humanity has been so much owned by the devil ever since it disobeyed its creator, that I'm going to read you a story from about a king that he wasn't human. God is talking about an evil spirit that he let govern in a city. Okay? I'm going to read to you. He wasn't human. He's an evil spirit. And see, all spirits are one. For instance, the God family is one. The devil are one. You understand? You know, do you understand the essence of unity? When you talk about one angel, it's all one. They all emanate from, they all come from Lucifer. So I'm going to read to you Ezekiel chapter 28. Ezekiel chapter 28, starting on verse 12. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and said unto him, thus says the Lord God, thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold, the workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Verse 14, thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. I have set thee so thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. 15. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. God is obviously talking about the devil. You understand? You understand, ladies and gentlemen? The devil has to be materialized. Let's keep going. 16. By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore, I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, all covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. 17. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. 18. That thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thy iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all men that behold thee. 19. And they that know thee among people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. You understand? I just talked to you about the king of Tyrus. It is not a human being. It is a king that the devil possessed and actually put in power on earth. Okay? Because all the earth belongs to him. Let me just tell you, say it again. This system of things, this whole earth has been given to the devil for a short period of time. But he actually belongs to the one that created it. Okay? The whole world has been given into the hands of the wicked. I've read you that scriptures in the Bible so many times. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you think the men, politicians, scientists, by the way, scientists are synonymous for Satanism. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to send it to you once again, the Hippocratic oath is based upon swearing in the names of what? In the name of pagan gods, which is the devil, Satan. So ladies and gentlemen, please, this is not a joke. I don't come here so that you, here's this crazy dude talking nonsense. Okay, prove it. See, when you call somebody something, you don't prove it, then who's the fool? Who's the crazy? And again, I put my hand in this Bible that I will wire you $500. Yes, I will go to. I don't even know. I don't even need to go to the bank. I just use my Western Union app and wire you the $500. But you're gonna have to show me and prove to me that there's been a leader, a political leader in human history that has actually care about its people. You're not gonna find it. I already did the homework for you. You may not want to take me up on this challenge. You know why? Because once it is proven that I'm right, then you're gonna feel kind of stupid for listening to your leaders. When they tell you, for instance, oops, it's time to get a job. There you go. Like sheep to the slaughter. Oh, it's time to do this. It's time to put a muzzle in your face. Oh, as if you was a dog. There it is. You will do it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please. I preach the gospel here, which means message of good news, because I love y'all. I respect all of you, and I care about you. Humanity has been an experiment under the devil, and he has been messing with the human mind forever. In fact, to this day, people don't even know that the light and the ships that they see in the sky are the devil playing with their mind. They call them extraterrestrial beings. They are demons, ladies and gentlemen, and this was all prophesied. Just like the situation that you see in the world right now, that the Edomite system was going to destroy itself, and that it was going to go into each other's throat. And that's what we see all over the planet. What do we see the Edomites doing? Killing each other. That was prophesied, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to wake up and smell the coffee. Okay? This is not a joke. This is very serious stuff. And you think that I would be here telling you this if I wasn't sure of what I'm telling you. By the way, as you can see, I'm not interested in clicks. I'm not interested in subscribers. I'm interested in people that even whether they subscribe to my channel or not, that actually get this message and prove it to their own research, through their own studies. Because this knowledge is the knowledge of salvation. In fact, let us go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Look at this. Matthew 24 says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, for witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." So if you know this knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, and you're not sharing it, then what's the point of you sitting on it? No, that's why I share this. Because everything that I said so far, because it comes from this book that never fails. We are living in prophetic time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now let us go to chapter 22. I'm sorry. Matthew 24, verse 22. "And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sakes, those days should be shortened." Now, this is what Biden and the world leaders around the world have been talking to you about. You tell me if they don't know the Bible. After reading this, look at this. In verse 7, "For nation should rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." You tell me that these evil doers upon this earth, like the European nations, and which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, are just simply following their orders, because they came out of the Roman Empire. These people are Edomites. They came from Edom, which is Esau, which means red. There's no such thing as white man. And people keep talking nonsense about racism. Okay? Red. You understand? Red. Edom means red. There's no such thing as white man. So there's no such thing as racism. By the way, there's no such thing as I voted and my vote count Because then what does that say about your vote? By having a leaders like the one that we have. And I don't want to hear about buyer's remorse. No, no, no. Believer's remorse. You believed on a lie. The devil has been playing humanity and manipulating it ever since. See, the CIA is in it. The FBI is on this. Okay? The whole governments of the earth are on this. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, these people are so full of evil that Biden is daring, ladies and gentlemen, is daring Putin to strike the United States with nuclear and Europe with nuclear. This is how evil these people are, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Because they've been talking and saying all kinds of crazy things. Okay? So this is all I have for you now, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. And remember, there's more. Okay? This is a mission that goes beyond me. This is not a mission, oh, I don't have nothing to do, let me do this. No. No. Okay? I'm compelled to share this with you. We are on the last day of human civilization as we know it. Families have been destroyed, and religion has played a very big part in it. Religion has been the devil's greatest trick to play on humanity. Okay? You know why? Because religion serves two purposes. Okay? So sneaky. It deceives the whole world. And not only that, but then once people wake up out of the falsehood and the deception of what religion is, and they become atheists, they don't want to hear not even from me, who's actually saying the truth. So they are checkmated. You know, in the game of chess, there's a move, checkmated. That's it. Once you checkmate, there's nothing else you can do. So the human experiment have been a disgrace unto itself. In fact, if you don't believe me that the humanity has been an experiment by the devil, look what all the satanic believes that he has pushed. They believe in evolution. They believe in reincarnation. The practice of abortion. You understand? Now, let us read Isaiah, just in case you don't believe or even appreciate what I'm saying. Here we go. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? You see what he does? He weakens the nation because he works through your political leaders, your governments, throughout human history. Babylon, the Babylon Empire, remember? The Babylon Empire, Nebuchadnezzar, what, you remember what he did? Oh, I'm going to build this statue, and if you don't worship it, you're going to go straight into he had this big thing, you know, like firing furnaces all over the city, that if you don't worship, you will put there, you will be burned alive. Okay? Now, what does the government tell you to do? If you don't get the jab, you will lose what? You will lose all the benefits that comes with it. You understand? It's the same experiment. It's the evolution of the experiment towards human destruction. Now, do not believe that a World War III is going to break out. That's a lie. That's part of the game. They want you to believe that. They want you to be scared. Ladies and gentlemen, Putin, the United States of America, and NATO are all the same. These people, they are getting arms, hypersonic missiles, not to fight each other. They're going to use this missile to try to destroy to try to destroy Christ, our Redeemer, Yahushua, when he comes back with all his power. Okay? I'm telling you, humanity is just like, it's a joke. The bunch of clowns. That's what we have become. In fact, if we go to Matthew 16 and verse 24. Matthew 16 and verse 24. Look what it says. Just in case you don't believe me. Matthew 16 verse 24. Then said Christ unto his disciples, if any man would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. In other words, if you are going to be part of God, of Christ's crusades, you cannot be a thief. You cannot be your own worst enemy. You cannot be an adulterer. You cannot be a womanizer. You cannot be a drug addict. Obviously, first of all, you wouldn't know where you be at anyway. You cannot be a drunk. So you have to be pure of all these evil things. You cannot be a thief, you cannot be a killer, you cannot be a robber, you cannot be an adulterer, you cannot be a womanizer, all of them things. You understand? That's why this path is one of the loneliest paths for any human being. Because why? Because the whole world has decided to follow its God, which is the devil. If you don't believe me, take a look at your dollar bill. If you are seeing this from in the United States, look what it says in the back. In God we trust. And look how crazy they think. How many billions of dollars have Biden sent to Ukraine? While the border here in the United States is anybody can come from anywhere in the world. There's no border in the United States. You understand? See how clownish, how stupid, how ridiculous? And people don't see that. Legalizing drugs. Okay, so he wants to kill our God's chosen people, which are very few. That's the end game. Destroy all of God's people by any means necessary. But they'll be held to pay for them. Okay? Y'all take care, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, there's more. God bless.